Hi, everyone. Welcome to Be Different for Success. Today, we'll be talking about how to develop self discipline. How many times have you vowed to improve your self discipline, only to find yourself failing only a few weeks later? You spent hours creating a beautiful color coded schedule, setting up a new to do list app, and painstakingly planning how you will crush your goals. You believe you can have everything you want if you can just follow the plan. Then, as it always does, one thing leads to another and things begin to go awry. None of the habits you tried to form have stuck and you're right back where you started. Cue the shame and guilt, the vow to do better, the obsessive planning. The cycle begins again. What if you could actually pull yourself out of this slough of despair and make real, concrete changes to your habits? What if those habits could last for the long term and actually help you progress towards your goals? In this video, we are going to teach you everything you need to know to truly develop self-discipline that lasts. You can also find other useful videos on our channel regarding self-discipline, so I invite you to check the links below. The true key to self-discipline. Here's the key to building self-discipline that really lasts. It's not about which time management app or day planner you use. There are a million and one ways to plan, track, and measure your good habits, but they are all useless if you can't form those habits in the first place. Self-discipline is ultimately a state of the mind. If you want to train yourself to be more disciplined, you have to shift your mindset and see the world in a new light. This doesn't mean you need some sort of life-defining epiphany. Even subtle changes in the way you think can dramatically improve your behavior, helping you spend less time doing things you don't really want to do, and more time accomplishing your goals. In this video, we'll cover 15 small but powerful strategies and concepts that will change your mindset on self-discipline. Start with why. Why do you want to be disciplined? Ask yourself, what is the outcome you want to achieve? You need a reason for why you are doing this. If you don't have a specific goal in mind, it's too easy to give up when the going gets tough. You simply won't care enough to push through. The desire for your goal must be stronger than the temptation to give up, so think about what you really want. The motivation has come from within you, and you have to really care about the outcome. What self-discipline isn't? Before you begin on your journey towards building self-discipline, it's important to understand what self-discipline isn't. It's not about becoming a superhuman productivity machine who never fails. It's not beating yourself up because you didn't achieve more than you did yesterday. It's not expecting that you'll never be tempted to sleep in, eat cupcakes, or scroll through Facebook. It's not rigid and inflexible. It doesn't mean holding yourself to an impossible standard. Self-discipline shouldn't require Herculean effort. It simply requires a normal amount of effort managed effectively. Remember that your human brain has evolved to be as lazy as possible in order to conserve energy. Smart self-discipline is not about trying to fight that. It's about understanding it and making small, persistent changes anyway. 15 self-discipline concepts, strategies, and mindset shifts. Here are 15 strategies I've found helpful for developing self-discipline. Number 1. Delayed gratification. In order to build self-discipline, we need to master the art of avoiding a temptation that is right there in front of us, so we can hold out for something better in the future. Studies have shown that being able to delay gratification is one of the most important personal traits of successful people. Number 2. Make choices in advance. When we have to make several decisions in a day, we can suffer from something called decision fatigue. You might start out making smart choices and delaying gratification, but by the end of the day, your ability to choose wisely is spent. Businessmen and politicians such as Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, and Barack Obama are known for only wearing one or two outfits in order to limit the number of decisions they need to make every day. One way to reduce the amount of decisions you have to make in a day is to make these decisions in advance, so they are not a choice anymore. Number 3. Removing temptation. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, training self-control through steadfastly trying to resist temptation again and again simply doesn't work. Instead of keeping temptations around and trying to resist them, why not remove the temptations in the first place? This makes self-discipline effortless, as the decision is automatic. If your goal is to be more productive, Use tools to block social media apps. If your goal is to eat healthy, don't keep junk food in the house. Number 4. What you don't do is just as important as what you do. Take a close look at where you are spending your time and energy. What percentage is spent on things that really don't matter? According to this study, the average adult spends 5 hours per day looking at their smartphone. It sounds crazy, but when you think about the countless times you check your notifications for a minute or two, it really adds up. With this in mind, not constantly scrolling through social media on your phone can make a huge difference in your day. Imagine what you could do if you had 5 extra hours every day to work towards your goals. Number 5. Focus is a muscle you can build. Most people lack the ability to stay focused on a task for a significant period of time. To test this on yourself, try to sit down and focus on doing just one thing. It won't be long until your mind starts to wander and you find yourself checking your phone notifications or email. You can build up your ability to focus by setting a timer and working exclusively on one thing for a set period of time. Put your phone out of sight or on airplane mode and close all other browser windows. Number 6. Nutrition, sleep, and exercise are key. If you are trying to improve your self-discipline and you're not getting enough sleep, healthy food, and exercise, you're fighting an uphill battle. If you eat nutritious food, get some form of physical exercise every day, and get a good sleep, you'll find it much easier to work towards your goals. You'll have more energy, an overall positive attitude, and you'll be less likely to give up when the going gets tough. You can find many videos on our channel regarding sleeping well and nutrition. Please check the links below. Number 7. It's about the habit, not the outcome. Rather than saying, I want to lose weight, say, I want to walk at least 10,000 steps per day. Losing weight is something nebulous and difficult to pin down. How are you going to achieve it? How will you know when you are successful? Walking 10,000 steps per day is something concrete that you can track and measure. If you focus on this habit, the outcome of losing weight and improving fitness will likely come as a result. So figure out what you want to achieve and think about the habits that would get you there. Number 8. You can't improve what you don't measure. You may have heard this saying before, but it's really true. Measuring progress is a powerful way to motivate yourself to improve. Clearly tracking the things that are important will help you better understand your performance and how you can improve. You can measure anything that you want to improve, from minutes spent exercising per week to the number of books read in a year. You can use an app or a device, or you can simply track your progress in a notebook or a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter how you measure. It's the act of measuring that will make the difference. Number 9. Eat that frog. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. If it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. The frog is the big, daunting item on your to-do list you are avoiding. If you can face this task first, you'll tackle it with a clear mind when your willpower and concentration are at their strongest. If you save it for the end of the day, you'll be tired and more likely to push it onto tomorrow's to-do list. To prepare to eat the frog every morning, make a to-do list the night before. Place the biggest, hardest, and ugliest task at the top of your list. When work begins, take action immediately and don't do anything else until you've swallowed that frog. The good news is that once you've done the hardest task first, you can relax because the rest of your to-do list will seem easy in comparison. Number 10. Do just one push-up. I want to tell you how I overcame my resistance to working out by telling myself I only had to do one push-up. Just doing one push-up took away all the pressure and anxiety. Of course, once I was on the floor and did that push-up, I did several more. Then I was already warmed up, so I did a few other exercises as well. One simple push-up turned into a full 30-minute workout. This technique really works because sometimes one of the hardest parts of doing something is the initial push to get started. We often avoid something difficult because we are thinking about how daunting the complete task is, so reducing it to something tiny can help you get started. Tell yourself you only need to do one small thing. Once you get started, you'll end up doing more. This can be used for developing self-discipline in any area. Don't worry if the micro goal you set for yourself is embarrassingly easy. That's the point. The key is to choose something that is so easy that you can't say no. Number 11. Budget your energy, not your time. When do you do your best and most focused work? Everyone has a different circadian rhythm. Some of us are more alert and active in the morning, while others get a burst of energy at night. I'm definitely a morning person. I know that I need to get my most important tasks done before the afternoon, otherwise my ability to concentrate will begin to wane. Working in the evening is usually pointless for me, as it takes me twice as long to do a task as it would in the morning. Think about the time of day when you naturally have the most energy and plan your schedule around that. Of course, if you have a job with set hours, you might not be able to choose when you work, but this still might help you make other decisions, such as whether you should go to the gym before or after work. Number 12. Punch the clock. You will have good days and bad days, but what matters is that you show up and complete the habit. This is often referred to as punching the clock. If you made a goal to hit the gym every morning before work, there will be some mornings where you feel tired and you won't have your best workout ever. It's still incredibly important to follow through and go to the gym on those mornings anyway. It's not the occasional amazing workout that makes a big difference in your health. It's the cumulative effect of many workouts over time. Sticking to the habit over the long term is the most important thing. Number 13. When you catch yourself cheating, reassess. I'll be perfectly honest with you. There will be a moment when you'll decide to cheat on your own plan. If you committed to counting your calories, you'll eventually eat a cookie and decide not to log it. If you've decided to turn off notifications while at work, you'll eventually decide to sneak a peek at your email. If your plan was to run for 5 miles, you might find yourself giving up and walking the last mile. Does this mean you are a terrible, no-good person who will never amount to anything? Absolutely not. It just means that it's time to re-examine your habit and figure out why you are tempted to cut corners. Number 14. Trust in a good habit. When a behavior becomes a habit, we stop using our decision-making skills and instead function on autopilot. Therefore, breaking a bad habit and building a new habit not only requires us to make active decisions, it will feel wrong. Your brain will resist the change in favor of what it has been programmed to do. The solution? Embrace the wrong. Acknowledge that it will take a while for your new regime to feel right or good or natural. Keep chugging along. It will happen. In the description below, you can find 2 interesting videos regarding how to break bad habits. Number 15. Don't expect perfection. Last but not least, don't expect yourself to perform perfectly every time. If you hold yourself to an unachievable standard of perfection, you'll only succeed in making yourself feel inadequate. When you fail, forgive yourself, get up and move forward. Make it your motto to never miss twice. That means that if you miss one workout, it's not the end of the world, but you're not going to miss 2 in a row. Slipping up on your habits doesn't mean you are a failure. It means you are normal. Successfully improving self-discipline is not based on never making mistakes. It's all about having the grit and determination to keep persisting and improving over the long term. Bottom line, self-discipline is like a muscle. It doesn't explode overnight. It grows over time with consistent work. You don't need to master your discipline today. All you need to do is begin implementing a single one of the strategies we've listed out and take incremental steps toward growing your self-discipline muscle. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please click the thumbs up and write your personal tips in the comments below. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from us. See you in the next video.